The reason I said yes to the invitation to come here to Utrecht is because I want to say something to you. And what I want to say to you is, it's time for a positive revolution. It's time that we all start to look at children based on their strengths, on their possibilities, and their desire to grow in the direction of their ambitions and their aspirations. It's time that we look at adults in the same way. And it's time that we stop looking to adults and children as a problem that has to be solved based on their weaknesses, based on their gaps. And for me in all this, talent is a central concept. Let me ask you, and please react immediately. Who of you has a lot of talent? I should have known, this is TEDx, of course. But what you see when you ask that question, and it happened also here, is that some people hesitate a little bit at the moment this question is asked. You know why? Because when people think about talent, they think it's about something you're really very good at, like being an excellent cook, or an excellent violin player, or an excellent dancer. They think you must be very good in something before you can name it a talent. But for me, that's not talent. Talent is not about the activity. It's not about what you do with the talent in an activity, but it is what a talent does with you. So talent for me is not in the activity, but it's in what it does with you. For me, the definition of a talent is that a talent goes about any activity in your life that goes totally at ease, that satisfies you, that makes time fly, that loads your batteries. And everybody born on this planet has lots and lots of talents. But there's something difficult with talents, and that is, how do I discover my talents? Because as everybody has different talents, we have to discover them. So we need people that name our talents, that see our talents, and say to us, do you know, maybe this could be a talent? Imagine you're 22 and for the first time you facilitate a meeting in your company, and it's the first time you're doing that, and after the meeting, someone is coming to you and says, wow, how you did that, it's wonderful how you did it. You asked those questions, and you did this, you made a summary, you involved everybody, and then you say, talent, is that special? I don't know. It's the first time I'm doing it. But maybe in the evening, you will think about it and reflect and discover that this is maybe a talent of you. We need other people. And also as parents and teachers, we have to look to our children in that way. I have two boys, and when they were small, one of the boys, he wanted the circus of Playmobil. Quite expensive. Yeah. So we gave him the circus of Playmobil as a present, and it came, and he opened the box, he looked for the plan, and he started to build the circus. He finished it, and he never ever played with the circus. It was about building the circus. My older son, when he gets such a box, he thinks, why is it not made already? I want to play. So he started, once it was finished, to play with his fantasy and play stories with the circus. And now my oldest son, the one who was playing, is playing theater. And my youngest son just made his own computer, building his own computer. If you see talent, if you look for it, if you watch for talent, you will see it very early in life. Now, maybe I can give some examples of talents. I had the luck to interview many hundreds and hundreds of people in the past years, teachers, politicians, top sporters, even prisoners, looking for their talents. And we discovered, together with some colleagues, about 39 different talents. I will give you some examples. The first talent I would like to explain is the busy bee. And about 40% of you will recognize this talent. So, the busy bee is about people, when they have done a lot during a day, they feel happy. If they were not able to do a lot during the day, they feel irritated. So their talent is that they enjoy activities that are useful and that have sense. When they're in a meeting and it's really going about nothing, they think about all those things they could have done during the meeting. Yes? And they're always busy also in the evening, in and around the house, with many things. And to read a book or watch a movie, it's a decision. No, I'm going to read a book. But while walking to the sitting place, when they see some rubbish, they will clean it up before going to the sitting place. Who does recognize this talent? 40%. That's a lot. And who of you that just raised the hand, when you sit down with your book, puts on the washing machine to having the clothes washed while watching the movie or reading the book? Yes. That's typically the busy bee. Now, this talent admits me to tell a little bit about some more aspects of talent. The first thing is, when you're under stress or under high pressure, you will start to exaggerate your talent. So that means the busy bee becomes a chicken without a head. Yes? Running around and around, having no priorities, looking for structure, and all the way going. And they get tired, but they don't listen to the signals of their body. But it's a great talent. Another thing I can add to that is, when you have that talent of busy bee, don't think that your children and your partner has the same talent. When I was young, my mother said to me, "But look around in the house. There are so many nice practical things you could do. Don't you see that?" No, I didn't see. Or when there's, when there's something on the stairs, please take it with you. Now, another interesting thing is that many people with the talent of busy bee are married or have a partnership with people that have another talent. And the other talent is the here and now champion. And the here and now champion is someone that's very good in dealing with complexity. Very good in dealing with complexity. Stays calm under high pressure all the time. Enjoys the here and now very good. And you can imagine it's really perfect. The busy bee activates the here and now champion. And the here and now champion gives relaxed time to the busy bee. But under stress, yes, the busy bee becomes a chicken without a head. And the here and now champion goes in a total, I don't know what situation. And so the day before holidays, then you see the busy bee walking around, taking things, and then the here and now champion is listening to Mozart. Okay. Another talent is what I call the TTT. Things true. It's a talent of people. They are sitting in a meeting, and it's about something new and complex. And at the end of the meeting, they get the question, what's your point of view? They will have listened very well, but they don't know at the moment. At that moment, they are not ready with their point of view. And they will say, I don't know already. But on their way home, it starts puzzling under the shower, while cooking, while wandering around. It starts puzzling. And when the puzzle is ready, they know what they think about. Who recognizes this? Yeah, it will take some minutes for some other people with this talent. So that's the TTT. Or imagine at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, some colleague says something very, very wrong to you. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At 6 o'clock in the evening, you think about the sentence you would have liked to say at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And imagine that TTT has to work together with a colleague with the talent of intuitive thinker. The intuitive thinker never prepares meetings. Just goes in the meeting, hears something and starts to talk. Imagine preparing those two, a meeting, and the first one needs a planning, an agenda, documents. The intuitive thinker looks through his documents while walking to the room. The intuitive thinker gets split-second intuitive insights in those things that happen in the room. They are very complementary, but it's not easy for those two talents to work together at the moment they're in a meeting room. Another talent is what we call the quiet assistant. The quiet assistant is a talent of people that are really a champion in letting other people shine. They do very small things that make other people shine, and when other people are successful, they enjoy a lot. They don't want applause. They don't want to be seen. The only thing they want is a small sign from that person that they have seen they did so much for them in order to shine. Then another talent is the talent of a yes trooper. People with the talent of yes trooper, when they're in a meeting room and the question is asked, who will do this? They see their hand raise and they say no. And they say yes, but they think no. Or at the phone, the question is asked, do you want to do this? They say yes, they put down the phone and say, shit, I should have said no. It's a beautiful talent of people that always take responsibility. When they say yes, it's a yes, and they will do whatever they can do in order to make it a success. These are 5 talents. We have about 39 of those talents, and when I would do a talent interview with you, I would discover with each of you about 10 to 14 of these talents. That means everybody here in the room has a unique user manual, unique way to behave, to be seen, but also it means other ways to recognize the talent. Maybe some more things about talent. The first thing is, it's not because you have talent that you will do something with it. You need 2 things. And the first thing is, you need behavior. Imagine you have the talent of an intuitive thinker. It doesn't mean you're successful in meetings. So you'll need to train skills, a lot of skills, to be successful in facilitating a meeting. And the second thing you need is context. Context, that means you need situations in which you can use your talent. That's the reason that guy, maybe he was 22 at the moment, he discovered he had the talent of intuitive thinker. So talent in action means I have talent, I have developed behavior, and I found context. Second thing is, I already said it with the busy bee, when you're under stress, you exaggerate your talent. That means you need skills, and I call them leveraging skills, like a lever, leveraging skills that help you to use your talent more effectively, and that can be trained. The third thing is about your weaknesses. My point of view about weaknesses is very easy. When you're really not good in an activity, don't try to develop it. You won't succeed. But always take responsibility for the impact of what you do. Imagine the TTT. You have a meeting with your boss, and he says, I would like you from now on to formulate a clear vision at the end of each meeting. It's impossible for the TTT. But the result is possible, and the result is about having influence on decision-making based on your point of view. And the TTT is great in puzzling, but needs some time. So we have to focus on the result and look for the talents. It's time for a positive revolution. It's time that we start and do it much more in education, that we start to look to the talents, that we discover talents of children at school, help them to discover them, to develop them, and to find a way in their life in which they use their talents every day. We need companies that search for the talents of their people in such a way they can realize great results together with others and have great team results as a result of that. First, education. The educational system in my country, and I think also in your country, it doesn't match with a lot of talents. It only matches with some talents. I always say, if you're good at sitting on a chair for a long time, you're good. If you're able to make notes that you can read afterwards, good in analyzing, good in structuring, good in memorizing, and at the exam, without stress, being able to reproduce your knowledge, then you are very lucky, because then you have talents that fit the educational system. And then you become 16, 17, 18 years and totally aware of your talents, you look for further education. But if you lack all those talents, and many thousands of young people have that problem, it's a big, big problem. Myself, I was 16, 17 years old. I was in secondary education in Belgium, and I thought I had no talent. I thought I was moderate. I thought I was stupid. So I didn't know what to study. Only at university, I was tested. And a lady said to me, "Mr. Dewulf, you're a donkey." I said, "Oh, yes." Yeah. She said, "Mr. Dewulf, we have tested you. Do you know that you are capable to study whatever subject at this university? But only if you want." At that moment, I discovered a talent of me, and that's the one of the Selective Star. A Selective Star means when I'm motivated for something, I really go to the end. But when I'm not motivated for something, it's very difficult. Many thousands of young people, of students, have this issue, and the educational system doesn't fit with it. Look to learning disabilities. You know what my definition is of a learning disability? A learning disability is a description of behavior that irritates teachers. And we have many thousands of great teachers dealing with this issue. And of course, those children, they have problems. But the biggest problem is that the educational system doesn't fit the talents of those children. Once they're an adult, many of them show they have wonderful talents. But they forget about them when they are young because they're labeled with such a learning disability. Dyslexia. Do you know children with dyslexia? They have great capacities in visualizing things, in imaginary thoughts and thinking and work. Many of them become an artist. You know that children with ADHD and ADD can focus their attention for an extreme long time in an activity. Wonderful. But we confront them with their labels. They have great talents. Same in companies. I'll just mention one thing for companies, and it is, I'm a burnout coach. I have a lot of work at this moment. And as a burnout coach, I meet many people that have 5 characteristics. And the first thing is they are very intelligent, more than average. They are very passionate, but they have one problem. If they're not motivated, it's not good. If they're motivated, they go. The third thing is they're very sensitive. A small remark can really touch them very deep. And they have a very high norm on justice. When they see injustice, they can't have it. And many of them get stuck in organizations and systems. Many thousands of them are home at this moment, are unemployed, have a depression, have a burnout. The most creative layer of our society. I started a project in which I'm helping those people. I bring them out of their situation of passive talent. I activate their talent by only letting them do, for a period of months, what they really like to do. They are obliged to do their passions, to play their talents. And meanwhile, we coach them. We give them coaching, we give them support in order to activate them again and find a new way in working in organizations. It's time for a positive revolution, and it starts with you today and this evening. It starts with your talents. What are your talents? What are the talents of your children? What is the talent of your partner? And that colleague that irritated you last week, what is his talent? It's time for a positive revolution.